was your day?
Great.
Did you pay the bills?
Abby did it.
And the plumber?
Abby did it.
Send money to your mom?
Abby did it.
Who's Abby?
Bank on WhatsApp with Abby, your 24/7 digital personal banker. Another digital innovation that gets things done. That's Africanacity. That's ABSA.
Did you take dinner out the freezer?
Want to grow your business? Broadcast your sermon, share birthday wishes, make funeral announcements, produce adverts and documentaries? Then book and advertise with us today by calling us on +254 700 893 542
700-893-542
or email us on sales@luke-up.tv. The following program is rated PG. Parental guidance is recommended.
My name is Leticia. I was born in Karen, Kuinda. So I was born in a family of 4, in a middle class family, not high and not low. And I stayed with my parents. I studied in Currency Primary School, where I really got high grades. So I was born with both parents, mother and father, and we lived with them. I studied in Currency Primary School, and in secondary I went to Kericho's Mercy Girls. So I had three siblings, 2 sisters, 1 brother, and they studied both in primary school in Currency. So we were together in that setting, and there was a wrangle between my family, which is my mom and my father's relatives, and we just lived in a setting of wrangles each and every day. We were rejected in my father's family, so my mother was our very own anchor. We just leaned on her since my father died when I was in class 1. I was actually 7 years. So we depended on my mom for everything. While it was so challenging for us because my father's family, they were not giving her a nice time. They were not giving her a very good time with us. Yeah, they were struggling with her. They wanted her to go away and leave us. But if she leaves us with them, it is another big deal for them to nurture us. They didn't. It's like we felt unloved. We were just, we lived in a rejected surrounding. So I went back. My mom shifted to Rongai. Yeah, she left Karen because of the intensity of the wrangles. So when we went to Rongai, I was living with her. So she remarried, and I had a stepdad, and he was good to me, I can say. And we really, despite of her being married again, we struggled. We struggled financially, emotionally. We were tormented with my family. I don't know what really was happening between those two, but I was just in the middle. I was just surviving with my mom because I just loved her so much than my family members. So it reached a time she got pregnant while I was in class 8. Yeah, she got pregnant with my stepdad. She bore 2 twins, and after some months she had complications, so she passed on. At this point I had to go back to my family members and stay with them since my stepdad couldn't stay with me. We didn't know each other very well. So I went back to my family members in Kuinda, Karen. And it was a challenging part on my side because I was not comfortable around them. Because I didn't feel love. It was just an atmosphere of sorrow for us children, where my siblings were. We were just there. Sometimes we lacked food. At times we couldn't study well because we are really going through labor work, and it was a very hard time for us, even for me. At times my grade in school was affected by that. And so I wanted to feel loved. At some point, I looked for affirmation from them, but it wasn't there at all. It wasn't there for me. So I looked for affirmation from friends. Yeah, not good friends, not the best. So I looked for affirmation from negative friends. They were on drugs. Some of them were married. Some of them had early pregnancies. So I felt I belonged in that community, the community of failures. So I hooked up with them. They, little by little, they introduced me to partying, to the drug life. So I started little by little with alcohol, marijuana, and the circuit went on. Ilienda ikipanda, so I became a typical smoker. And my family members knew I was smoking, but I was living in denial. I never accepted I was in that situation. I continued with that life of drugs. Yeah, it came a point when I was so rebellious to my family. I was so rebellious. Like, I would cause fights in the house. I would run away time after time, go at a friend's place, do whatever I want, sleep outside, engage in drug life. So that was a life for me. That was the choice I made, despite of the hurt I was going through. That was the choice I made to cover me up of the shame, of the guilt, of the pain I was feeling at the moment. So when I was at my family member's place, that was the life. They at times took me to the police officers because they thought they couldn't handle me anymore. I was a failure, like I was a failure. Yeah, so this drug life, I took it to the secondary level, where I was going in high school in Kericho. So I started taking drugs and bringing them to school. I give my friends, I share with them, but it was not known for some time. So it reached a point when I used it publicly, and that's how people knew I was using drugs. Some of the students, they went and told the teachers, the deputies. Yeah, so I was summoned, the investigation was done, and so I was expelled out of the school. Yeah, at this point of my life, I was just there. The drugs had made me even not care about anything. Even though I was suspended, I didn't really care much about that. I didn't really care. The drugs, they had taken a big part in my life. I was, I think, mentally challenged at the point. I wasn't thinking clearly. My grades went down. I was a very performing lady, but with time my grades went down. So it was a concern for my family, for my teachers, yeah. So I was expelled from school. I went back home, not knowing what to explain, not knowing what to tell my family members, because they had struggled to look for sponsors for me. Now the sponsorship was over. So I just had to stay at home until the time they will find money. So the time when I went back home, I felt like it was a chance for me to engage in more drugs. I was now deeper into it. I didn't care about life. I thought no one will admit me back to their school. So I started using and using, running away from home, partying, coming back. I started even becoming shaggy as a lady. Yeah, so that was the life that's how drugs took me to that level of, I think I was, in the addiction point. So I was reckless at the moment. In those settings of drug use, I had a relationship with someone, and I got pregnant. So, I ran away from home realizing that I was pregnant because I didn't know how to explain it to my family members. I didn't know how to. I was ashamed, I was guilty. I really felt like I was at the end of the world. To me, it was the end of me. So I ran away from home. After some weeks, days passed on, months, I was at the place I was in. I didn't face a really good treatment. It was at my friend's house. So I decided to come back to my family members. So when I went to my family member's place, the truth was already on the table. They really knew what I was going through at the moment. They were judgmental at some point. They poked at me. So I got into a relationship and I got pregnant. So I ran away from home because I was ashamed. I didn't know what to tell my family. I didn't know what my friends would say. I felt secluded at the moment, so I ran away from home. I stayed for months. Yeah, months passed, and where I was living with a friend, I was not in good treatment. Yeah, so I decided to go back to my family member's home, and when I went back, the truth was already in the table. They already knew I'm pregnant, so I could not deny the fact. So I lived in the house, but I didn't have peace because they didn't first know who got me pregnant. So it was a big deal for them. They were not ready to take care of the baby or anything. They were just nagging me every time. So I felt I really had a stressful time there. My friends secluded me. Yeah, even my sisters and brothers, they were not comfortable around me. People in our place were telling their kids to stay away from me because I was a bad influence to them. So I was just staying by myself. And yeah, my family investigated who got me pregnant. They found out. They came and asked me, and I told them. So they insisted that I should take an abortion so that I could go back to school, because I dropped out in Form 3 due to drugs. So for me, it was not the point of abortion. It was not good for me. I felt the guilt will kill me at some point. I felt it was so inhuman to do that. So I decided to keep the child. So I kept the child. After a few months, the father of the child told me, if you don't come and stay with me, I'll forget about you and the child. So that was another phase of my life. I was forced into an early marriage. Yeah, so I went to this guy's house, and I was not comfortable, because it was already a mistake we had done due to drugs. So I was not comfortable in that setting. I struggled with life there. He was not soft to me because my family members were pushing him on the wall. They walikuwa wanamsumbua sana. They didn't want him to have me in his house. At some point they would tell him to take me from their hands, and when he takes me, they want me back. So I didn't really know what they wanted for me, but this man, at some point, he supported me. He kept me in his house. Although life was not smooth there, I endured because I didn't have any alternative. I was pregnant, an early pregnancy. I couldn't go back to my family, as in I couldn't bear what they were doing to me. So I stayed in isolation. Wanted to speak to me, and so most of the time I used to stay in the house. At this point, I stopped using drugs because I was very cautious of my pregnancy. So I kept the baby till 12 months of delivery. Just one morning, I woke up feeling a lot of pain, like it was a lot of pain. So I wanted to go do a scan and know what's wrong. Why am I feeling this pain? So I went, I did the scan, and I found out that the baby was dead, in the womb. So I had to be admitted, and I couldn't be, nilikata kuadmitiwa kwa sababu, no one knows at home. I didn't have a phone at the moment, so I had to go back home. So I went back home. I told my family members, I told the baby daddy, but I felt like he wasn't really concerned about it. I was just crying by myself, and he's just there sitting, standing, and he was like, why are you crying? As in, so that really disturbed me, because why are you not concerned, and it's our baby. So that evening they took me to the hospital, and I was admitted. By God's grace, I had cramps, so I gave birth normally, but the baby was dead. So staying at the hospital, I had to stay for some days so as to recover, because mine was an abnormal birth. So I was really in depression, because I've lost the baby who I really fighted for. As in, I really wanted this baby to be a part of me, and now nishampoteza. So it was a very hard time for me in the hospital, because you can hear other mothers have given birth and their babies are all right, and yours is already gone. So it was I really felt really bad in my heart. I was so depressed. I couldn't eat very well. I had body aches. Yani, I was just there. I didn't even want to go out to see the sunlight. I was just there, locked up in a room. Yeah, so my people took me from the hospital, but again it was a big deal for them to take me out, because the hospital bill was increasing. Each day I'm staying there, the hospital bill is increasing. So this baby daddy, at some point, he was rebellious in paying, but my family pushed him, so he paid, and I was out. I went back to his house, but I was told I'm given 7 days to stay in his house, and then when I recover for those 7 days, I'll go back to my aunt's place, because they didn't want me to get married to this person again. So I went back to his house. He was on drugs too, so he was a heavy drinker. At that point, he wasn't comforting me in anything. Like, yes, he gave me money to eat, to feel comforted, but in real sense, he didn't support me emotionally. So I was just there. No one, even my family members, they didn't come to console me or just stay with me. Yani, I was just secluded. And the thought of losing the child, it killed me a lot. It was eating me from inside. I wasn't showing it outside like crying. I was just numb. I was just there, just sitting, lying in the bed, waking up, sitting. Yeah, that's at that time, it was the thing I used to do each and every day. So the 7 days were over, and my family had reported to the authority in our area, so that I could come out of that place. So the authority came for me. They took me out of the house, and I went to my aunt's place. Yeah, so when I went to my aunt's place, at this point, I was totally depressed. We have been separated with this man, and I've lost the baby, and I'm just there. People are talking about me everywhere. No one wants to relate with me. People look at me as if there's really something wrong with me, instead of comforting me. So it really gave me a hard time. For my aunt, she just gave me all the necessities, the basics, the food, shelter, clothing. Yeah, but they didn't really talk to me. Even in the house, we didn't really talk much. So I started slowly going back to drugs. Yeah, I started with bang, and it got really worse. I went to alcohol again, and I was deeper than before. I started getting deeper, kabisa, because of the depression. No one was talking to me, so I'm just there. People are assuming that it's normal. It's normal to lose a child. You have to go on with life. Yeah, so I used drugs. I started hooking up with my previous friends. Yeah, they introduced me to more and more deeper drugs. And at that time, it was only 1 month since I've given birth. So I was not completely like healed. Yeah, so I needed to settle down, but I didn't. So at this point, I started sleeping out of the house. So my aunt will come and look for me, not find me. I will bring myself back home, drunk. that's how she knew I was back into drugs. So I kept on running away from home, going to parties. Yeah, I really wanted to just stay drunk, because when I'm sober, the reality hits me. Like, I've lost everything, my dignity, my baby, friends, family. I really wanted to stay, just to stay drunk. Yeah, I didn't want to wake up to the reality. So it reached one time I got reckless kabisa. I was drinking, nikikuja home, auntie yangu akaniuliza umetoka wapi? I was not even able to talk. Akaenda, that akirudi akapata mimi nishaenda. So already ilikuwa usiku kitu saa 2 hivi. So nilitoka nikaenda about 1 kilometer to my friend's house. Yeah, at that time nika spend night huko, and then I planned, nilijua nikikaa huko nitapatikana tena. So nikataka kushuffle place, niende place mbali yenye familia yangu itani access, cause sikuwa nataka kuwaona tena. Nilikuwa nimesema mimi na hao tumeachana kabisa, my life with them, I'm not going to live with them again, and I don't want them to see me again. So nikatafuta place ya kwenda, nikapata kuna an old friend, yeah, an old friend alikuwa na, tulipatana naye at a certain camp. So I went to her place. Pia yeye alikuwa anaishi na mama yake, but alikuwa na mtoto mdogo na alikuwa na siblings bado. So kukaka huko siku chache, she had a stepdad who alianza kuleta maneno. Alikuwa like, you hawezi leta tu mgeni and you don't know penye ametoka na unamkalisha huku sana. Akatafuta nyumba, tulitafuta msaada kwa relatives wake, wakatupea do, tukakomboa nyumba. Kufika kwa hii keja tena, bese nikalichoka na mimi. She was tired of me, cause pia yako na mtoto, anataka kumsupport. It's like alikuwa ananifukuza but aniambi. But I read niliread 2 actions zake na nikajua hapa I'm out. Hapa sasa nimetolewa bila kuambiwa. So at that same area penye nilikuwa, penye warifu yangu alikuwa naishi, I had a certain family friend mwenye amegrow up kwa familia yetu, but yeah, he's not really my blood. So nikaenda kwake, nilirealize anaishi huko. I went to his place. He's a grown up man, but alikuwa amedivorce wife wake. Kwenda kwa hii keja walikuwa wanaishi around 6 men. So it was challenging for me kuishi kama msichana hapo peke yangu. So kitu nilikuwa nafanya, nilikuwa natoka asubuhi, I go na shinda I just nachana, natumia drugs huko nje, naenda kwa bar, sikuwa nakosa marafiki wa kuninunulia pombe. So naenda nakunywa up to kitu kama midnight, ndo narudi huko na lala. So hivyo ndo nilikuwa nafanya ni avoid kukanao maboy, although they just took me as a sister, but it was really hard kuishi nao kwa nyumba moja, because you're a lady, kuna vitu yani unafaa kufanya in privacy. Yeah, it was a really hard time for me.
The future of money is simple, like unlocking possibilities with a smile and having the world in the palm of your hand. It's the ability to touch many lives at the same time and turn your dreams into reality. It's forgetting and still remembering. Simple is having everything that you love in one place. From the ticket to your next meal, to your ticket to the next holiday. It's an easy way to ask for a boost when you're low. And keeping track of everything on the go. The future of money is simple. and it's here. Download the new M-Pesa app today.
Did you know the world's top icons and legends who have made history are dyslexic? Dyslexia is a learning disorder that is characterized by difficulty in reading due to problems with identifying speech sounds and learning how they relate to letters and words. Dyslexia affects areas of the brain that process language. Symptoms include delayed speech, learning new words slowly, and a delay in reading. These legends made it, and so can your child.
Nairobi, are you ready? October is Dyslexia Awareness Month and the whole world will go red for dyslexia. Join us on 28th of October. Wear the red outfit as we light up the UAP on Mucho Red for dyslexia.
Where will you be watching the glow from? Does your child write B instead of D? Is your child phobic to the red pen due to the numerous X wrongs they get from teachers' marking pen? Do they refer to your child as a slow learner? Your child is simply dyslexic. To be part of the sponsor and for more information about dyslexia, kindly contact 0722 380 952. Let's go red for dyslexia.
Want to grow your business? Broadcast your sermon, share birthday wishes, make funeral announcements, produce adverts and documentaries? Then book and advertise with us today by calling us on +254 700 893 542
700-893-542
or email us on sales@luke-up.tv. Like, follow, subscribe, click the notification button. Join the Look Up TV movement now.
Nikaendelea hivyo, and this uncle of mine, I call him my uncle, this man who tulikuwa tunaishi naye, he was concerned. So I think alirudi kwetu, akaambia familia yangu he knows penye niko, so they come and get me. So me I kept hiding. Sijui, I really sensed natafutwa, so I kept on hiding. Wakikuja wanasikia nimetoka. They could ask my friends kama wameniona. My friends wanasema wajaniona, but they knew where I was. So nilikuwa tu nikijificha, naenda kwa maklabu usiku. By the grace of God, I've never sijai patikana na any incident I was harassed or misused uko kwa pub. Yeah, so while at a certain day nilikuwa tu I had hangovers, nilikuwa tu nimekaa kwa kiti at this uncle's house, and nikaona my aunt, my coach, my football coach, and another cousin of mine wakiingia. So wakaingia, wakakaa chini. Yeah, nilikuwa nimestuka cause sikuwa natarajia watanipata, like sikuwa natarajia they'll find me. So my aunt was not in a position to talk to me. Akaambia Chris aniongeleshe. Chris is my coach, my football coach. I was playing football. Wakamwambia aniongeleshe because walijua sitaitikia kenye wanataka kusema, and I didn't want to see them. So my coach akaanza kuniongelesha, akaniambia hii point umefika, you're not au yuko in a really good path, so we need to take you to a place where utajirecollect, your life will come back venye ilikuwa kitambo. You'll find peace of mind, yani utakuwa poa. So nikaitikia tu, yeah. Because at that moment nilikuwa desperate for anything. Pia mimi nilikuwa nimechoka na drug life. I used to tell myself kesho sitakunywa, but mabeste wakikam twende form, ningeenda. Because I was already addicted. Sikuwa najua nitamalizia wapi. Yani nilikuwa najipush, I stop it. Because hata withdrawals, they were so bad. Zilikuwa mbaya sana because nilikuwa natumia hard drugs. So kuacha, it was a really hard thing for me to do. So at that point hata mimi nilikuwa najiongelesha, najiambia penye life yangu iko, I need to change, I need help. But sikuwa naipata. I didn't know nitaanza wapi, I didn't know nitamaliza wapi. I could just sit at the sofa in the morning after nimetoka bar and I will talk to God. Even though I'm a drunkard, naongea na Mungu, namwambia please nifungulie tu njia, nijue at least nikuwe na hope ya hii maisha. As in, cause place nimefika, nimechoka. Cause mi kama msichana nimeanza kuvaa vibaya. Yani I'm dirty at some point. People used to tell me, even drunkards themselves walikuwa wananiambia I'm in a bad state, so I need to change. And I was like, okay, even watu wako kwa addiction wanaona enyewe I'm going, nenda chini. So nikaitikia, wakasema there's someone wameongelesha kwa simu, that person will cater for everything. Nitahitaji kwa hiyo place naenda. So I didn't know penye napelekwa. Nikaanza kujitayarisha, nikaanza kupack manguo, but sikupelekwa hiyo day. They had to take me like 2 days later. So in those 2 days, hizo 2 days, nilikuwa na internalize napelekwa wapi and nita change aje, cause mi nilikuwa naona I can't change, like nimejaribu. So ni nini nimebakisha? Hakuna. There's no way naweza badilika. So hizo siku mbili nikaamua sasa I'll drink to my fullest, because maybe penye nitapelekwa I'll never see a drink again. So nilikunywa nilikuwa na savings and support. So nikakunywa savings zote, nikabaia marafiki pombe, like I did everything with that money hadi nika make sure imeisha yote. Yani nilikuwa nakunywa nikisema nalipisha hizo days zingine zenye I'll be in that good place. So wali keep on kucheck on me, wana confirm kama still niko in that route or not. Walikuwa wana check up on me tu, yani coach ananipigia na nilizo uko sawa, tunaenda kesho. Yeah, so my coach kept on checking up on me, ananiuliza are you ready, tunaenda kesho, are you ready, tunaenda kesho. So I gathered all my things, tungo chache nilikuwa nato. Yeah, and kesho nikangoja tu kesho nikujiwe. So the next morning I went, nilienda tu kubid my friends bye, nikawambia mi nimeenda. Yeah, I didn't tell anyone where I was going, cause hata mi sikuwa najua penye naenda. So nikamaliza kuwa bid bye, nikarudi back to the house. Kurudi nikapata my coach, my aunt na shosh wako wamekam. Yeah, they came to pick me, and the moment my shosh aliniona, she was crying. Yeah, and I was like, mbona analia? Why is she crying? Because mi nikijiangalia naona niko sawa, but ye analia. She's really crying kabisa. So tukaingia kwa gari, and all over the journey alikuwa tu analia, kashikwa na pressure kwa gari. Tukwa tunajua kitu tutafanya, but immediately venye tulifika penye nilikuwa napelekwa, ndo at least akafeel poa. Yeah, so at this point ndo ilini hit napelekwa rehab. I didn't know I'm being taken to a rehab. Yeah, mimi nilikuwa najua tu I'm going to a vacation, ni feel poa, nitoe stress. Yeah, so kuingizwa ndani, I saw the place. It was not more of a rehab, it looked like a home. Yeah, ilikuwa tu inakaa place watu wanaishi. I went nikafanyiwa intake, and then sasa hapo ndo nilianza kuambiwa hii place ni nini watu kuja kufanya hii place. So I was told it's as much as it's a rehab, it's a discipleship program. Yeah, it's called Teen Challenge Kenya. So wakani explainia, wakanipea testimony of how people walikuwa wanaingia wanatoka, nikaonyeshwa before pictures, nikaelezewa how this journey iko, and nikaambiwa it's 1 year. So mi nikaitikia tu. Sikuwa najua 1 year ni refu ama fupi. Nilitikia, nilisema wacha venye itakuwa wacha ikue. So nikakuwa admitted at that place, but yo time sikuwa, it was a COVID time, so sikuwa nimepimwa COVID, and that place au watu walikuwa wamefungiwa, so I had to either nipelekwe quarantine ama nipimwe corona. So at that time hizo test hazikuwa mingi Kenya, so nikaekwa quarantine. Yeah, venye niliekwa quarantine, it was about 2 weeks, and it was a very dingy place. Ilikuwa room yani I don't think any normal person could live, but because I really desired to be a better person, I stayed. Although kuna some of the people around who call kwananibia, how can they do that to you? You just go out there, continue with your life. Hawezi fungiwa in a place like this. But nilitikia. I just stayed in that place because I knew what I wanted. So venye nilikuwa hiyo place, those 14 days zikaisha, so nikakubalishwa kuingia to the main house. Yeah, in the main house nilipata wasichana kama mimi. Yeah, there were not many, about let's say 6-10. Yeah, they were not that ati ni wengi venye nilithani rehab iko. Yeah, and the amazing thing about that rehab, it's not all about the needles. See, it's not all about hizo madawa tunadungwa ati ndo ziku detox or something. Yeah, it's just a place that they take you as a normal human being, and they believe that only you unajua root cause ya addiction yako. It's not anyone else. You can just overcome addiction kama you know the root cause ya your addiction. So it was a Christian-based institution, and after 2 months in the program, I gave my life to Christ. Yeah, and it was through just a staff member mwenye we used to do some contracts, paperwork. Yeah, and he talked about Jesus Christ, and I just gave my life to him. I started seeing the bigger picture of my life, as in niliacha kuona the pain. I stopped seeing hizo vitu nimepitia. I stopped seeing penye nimetoka. I was a very brilliant and strong lady in life, but sasa saizi ndo nilianza kujiona. I started seeing the brilliant lady in me. I started seeing the strong person. Yani nilianza kuona it's not all about what people did to me, how I lacked my parents or how I was rejected. It depended upon me kujua ni nini nataka na maisha yangu. Ilikuwa mimi nisimame niangalie what can I do with the talents I have, what can I do with the life I have. So in this 1 year, I recovered from losses, I recovered from anger issues. I had real anger issues. I recovered from low self-esteem. At least I didn't like myself. That's why I usually nilikuwa natafuta affirmation kwa marafiki, to my family members. I never thought that you can just be a strong lady, you can just be a beautiful lady, but you're walking, unatembea an individual journey. I felt like it takes someone to complete me. So in this 1 year, I started refocusing on life. Niliona kuna hope. Hata kama I had an early marriage, I had the drug life. Yani my relationship with my family imevunjwa. I knew there was still hope, because God in this 1 year amekuwa restore everything that I've lost, because I really depended on him. Restore relationship yangu na familia. restore dignity yangu. Right now when I pass somewhere, at least people wananiangalia with respect. They greet me as in, they see, there's something in me they see that it really encourages them. They see a strong person in me. That's because I have Christ in my heart. Yani, I just glow. It's not venye nilikuwa kitambo. I've changed, even my appearance, my everything. I've changed just because I allowed God to change me from the inside out. I searched myself. Nikona, I can't change myself from the outside, but I really need to go deep inside and know ni nini zinafanya nikae hivi. Ni nini zinafanya nikae mtu useless. So I changed the belief. I changed the hizo vitu nilikuwa najiambia that I'm a failure, I can't do it anymore, mimi niliboniwa tu kuacha shule katikati, mimi I can't stop drugs, of which in the 12 months I didn't. The last went ilienda kabisa, as in I was back to normal, and now I felt like this is the normal I was supposed to be from the first time I was born. This is the normal. Yani hiyo mind niko nayo sahi, it's who I'm supposed to be. Si hiyo kitu nilikuwa natafuta kwa drugs. It's not the comfort, it's not the sense of belonging nilikuwa natafuta kwa drugs na friends. This is who I'm supposed to be. A lady who has hope, a lady who has a very bright future. Yeah. So I finished the 1-year program. I did my ceremony, and it was so beautiful how God transformed me. And that's how, at this point, I'm in a place of going back to school, natafuta hizo connections. I want to go back to my normal life because I have sound mind right now. I have the strength, I have the focus, I have double experience of what I had before. So right now I'm planning to go back to school. I'm planning to do more activities with my talents. I'm planning to go back and play football. Yeah, because it's something I really had passion to do, and I really believe there's hope for people out there. Even though you have gone through pain, even though you have gone through hurts, there's nothing that iko impossible. That addiction yenye inakuhold, you can really stop it. If only you stop living in self-denial, you stop living in that feeling, yeah, I don't have any problem. I'm not addicted. I don't have this kind of issue in my life. You just have to realize that you have a problem and you accept it. The minute you accept you have a problem is when your healing process will start. The minute you call out for help is when your healing process will start. Because I believe in this world, there are people who are ready to help us. At least if it's not 100%, even though that 1% of people who want to help us, we should take advantage of that. We should just tuitikie advice tunapewa na watu. Tujikubali. Yes, I'm a drug addict. Yes, I've experienced early marriage, but hiyo si end yangu. That's not my end. That's only the beginning. Because these life issues, these pains we face, they're a disadvantage. We look at na tunawalo in self-pity instead of going back. Unaangalia disadvantage, you use it as an advantage to push you forward. Because right now me nikiona background yangu, familia yangu penye nimetoka, nikiona venye wanateseka, nikiona venye wako bitter in life kwa sababu maybe they didn't achieve everything they wanted, it really pushes me ni achieve more ndo nikuje niwasaidie. It really inaweka passion ndani yangu kukuja niwabadilishe venye mimi nimebadilika. So hiyo disadvantage yenye uko nayo, take it as an advantage and use it ikuwe stepping stone yako, ukanyage and you go back to your face, that face which God alikuwa ameintend wewe kukua. And you cannot do it by yourself. Mimi nilijaribu. I used to sit at the couch nikijiambia nitawacha, but it didn't work because I needed people. I needed support. You cannot walk in this world peke yako. Yes, when you want to go fast, you'll walk alone. But when you want to go far, you walk with people. So I decided to embrace these people. Hawa watu wenye I felt like they're hurting me. Hawa watu wenye I felt like they don't really wish anything good kwa life yangu, nilikuja nikafunguka macho nikasema even though my family this wako kuna venye they are not making me yani happy venye any other person would like, niliona at least they are wanachangia kwa growth yangu at some point, because hivyo venye wananipush kwa wall ndo pia mimi nasonga juu, venye wananipush kwa wall ndo pia mimi nasonga juu. Yeah, so they are a stepping stone in my life. I have to go through them, and since nili change mentality yangu from negative to positive concerning my family, my life has never been the same again. Nimeanza kuona at a different angle, at least naona uzuri yao, nimeacha ku reflect negativity yao, nimeanza kuona what's the positive thing kwa hii familia yangu, ni nini naweza pick from these people, nione hiki kitu itanipush mbele. Yeah, I really like to advise you, use your disadvantage to be an advantage for you to go higher in your life, because it's possible. There's still hope for you as long as your life. There's still hope for anyone. Kama hujafunga macho bado, if you're not in a coffin, you still have hope. Even me, saizi, I really don't see what was holding me. I really don't see ni nini ilikuwa inafanya nisiendelee na maisha yangu. Well, I have an opportunity. The fact that I am alive, I have a talent. I'm supposed to use that talent. Many of us hatutakuwa blessed na pesa, will not be blessed with a happy marriage. But what do you have in you? Do you have that talent? Do you have that? Hiyo ni nini hiyo inakuinspire ndani yako? Yani ukijiangalia unaona me I'm someone, because there's no one mwenye alizaliwa empty without nothing, yani because kila mtu ako na kitu ndani yake, and that thing is able to take you to further heights zenye hautafikiria. That thing iko able kufanya wachi vitu mingi. You only need to surrender to God. You need to take control of yourself. Don't let your body control you. Change your mindset. Take over your mindset and your body will follow, no matter the addiction. Hatukuwa tunaenda kwa hii rehab, the one I was, hatukuwa tunadungwa shindano ndo tuache drugs, hatukuwa tunafungiwa tunatandikwa. We were treated as normal people because the transformation was in our hands. Yes, people will watafanya come through, but it's only us wenye tunafaa kudiscover ni nini natusumbua, and we choose to make a difference in our life. We choose to move forward with our life. Si mwisho, because tukidwell kwa past yetu, it will just use our energy, our time, our resources, and our finances. So I really pray for those who are out there when you wanna struggle with life, and it's not the end. It's not the end of you. It's only the beginning. So receive Christ, atakusaidia. This journey, the transformation I faced, it was not me, it was him who brought it into my life. He's able to do kitu man hatuwezi fikiria atafanya. Yeah, so just embrace that which you think is a disadvantage, and it will take you far.
Kwa majina naitwa Chris Kiarie, nawakaribisha hapa ni mtaa Kuinda, huko upande wa Karen ward. Niko rehab niliweza kujua kwamba God ameniita kwa hii ministry ya reach out. So me reach out through sports, na ndipo one of teams ambazo nimeanzisha, that is Kuinda Queens. Mmoja wao ambao ni Leticia aliweza kukua na hizi shida, na nikaweza na kufikiria kwamba ni vizuri ningemreach out, sio tu kwa michezo bali pia hata kuweza kumpatia hata msaada ambao alikuwa anahitaji, kwa sababu angependa kupeleka mahali ama angewahi kupeleka mahali. That's why nilianza kutafuta wafadhili na nikaweza kupata, ambaye kuna pastor mmoja anaitwa Pastor Joy pale Talent aliweza kukubali na hata kuweza kumfadhili mahali pale. Last tarehe ilikuwa karibu tarehe 22 alipokubali, ndipo niliweza kumpeleka Leticia. But before tumpeleke, because alikuwa amepotea huu mtaa, tulianza safari ya kumtafuta, na ndipo niliweza kumtafuta na tukaweza kumpata. Kuna neighborhood slum ambao kunaitwa G-Town, na hapo ndio tulimpata, na baada ya kumpata ndipo tuliweza kumpeleka Youth Challenge Kenya. Leo hii ninashukuru sana na nashukuru Mungu kwa ajili ya kwamba ameweza kumaliza 1 year. Sasa tuna hope for the best kwa maisha yake. Tunajua God ndio amefanya hii, sio sisi, bali ni Mungu, na tunajua ako na great future, na ninajua na nina hakika kwamba atarudi shule kama vile anavyotazamia yake ni kurudi shule, na hata baadaye kuweza kuwa na jamii yake, na hata kuwa na pia na kazi.
So yeah, venye ame-explain, ni yeye Mungu alimtumia akakuja, and he really looked for me. Alinitafuta kabisa. I don't know how alikuja kunipata, and I'm really thankful about that. Nashukuru Mungu kwa kumleta kwa maisha yangu, kwa sababu he is one of my destiny connectors, as in walini connect kwa hii journey, the new phase I'm starting, and yendo walini connect kwa the recovery journey, and I'm so grateful about that.
We value your feedback and welcome your complaints about our programming and operations. Feel free to get in touch with us through 0700 893 542 or send us an email to views@look-up.tv. We can't wait to hear from you.
Did you know the world's top icons and legends who have made history are dyslexic? Dyslexia is a learning disorder that is characterized by difficulty in reading due to problems with identifying speech sounds and learning how they relate to letters and words. Dyslexia